morning. This is Even St. Julien with Even News. Tonight we have a special guest for everyone. He's the first African American to ride the Breeders' Cup and the first to ride the Kentucky Derby in 79 years, both in the year 2000. I'm also proud to say he is my father. Unfortunately, on May 19, 2018, Marlon was involved in a life-changing accident, which left him with a spinal cord injury that he is still recovering from. Please welcome to the Even News studio, my dad, Marlon St. Julien. Good evening, Dad. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine. Even how are you?
I'm doing good. Well, let's go back to the date of the race, which is May 19th, 2018. What do you remember?
Well, in the race, that's considered the warm-up session, which is in the poster race. The horse was a little bit nervous, being his first time out or whatever, not, and he was fine loading into the starting gates. He was the last horse. He was a nine-horse field, and when they closed the gates, when they closed the gates, he was fine, and actually tried to break when they opened the starting gates. He broke fine, but the inside horses, they came out. They got tangled up, the 7 and the 8, and the 7 pushed the 8 horse into me, which made their legs get tangled up together, and it made him trip and fall.
So when you were getting in the gates, how were you feeling?
I was actually nervous because I know it was his first time out, and I had a pre-experience 4 days before the race. He had another rider on him, and I was on another horse. We were working out together, breaking out of the starting gates, and they were working fine, and we got to the turn. My horse made the turn, and his horse took a right, tried to go back to the born area, and he dumped the rider. And I had that in my mind as we were, loading into the starting gates, and I was hoping that he would do everything good. But the accident actually wasn't his fault.
So it wasn't his fault. So what were your injuries?
I broke my neck. When the horse fell, it slammed me to the ground, and the first sound I heard was the helmet cracking, which is supposed to do that because it takes some of the absorption out so it wouldn't hurt us. But the slam was so hard. I mean, it broke my, it fractured my C4, which is in the top of your neck, and in that area, the spinal cord area, it controls all the breathing. But it fractured my C4, and it bundled up my spinal cord, made it swelled up really bad, and therefore the flow of the nerves that go down to your hands, your arms, I mean all of your limbs, it's like the passageway, the messageway to your body from that area to tell your body and your muscles what to do.
So did you have any surgeries?
Yes, I did. I had one surgery, which was very successful. They went in through the front of my neck, and the doctor fused, the surgeon, she fused together my C3, 4, and 5. They put a titanium plate and 3 screws, and everything came out pretty well.
So do you have any long-term injuries?
Well, my long-term injury, yes, I do. I mean, it's a spinal cord injury. It's going to take me a while to recover. I'm considered a quadriplegic now because I have slow movement of my hands and my arms, which is all nerve damage, and that's going to take a pretty good while. My doctor gave me 2 years to recover from that. Recovering mean I could recover 100% or 80%. It depends on probably of how much effort I put into, trying to recover in between that time.
So what does your future look like? Do it look like you're going to be riding horses again?
Well, even I hope to go back to riding again. It probably doesn't look like it. I'm 35 pounds heavier than I was when I when 70 pounds. I'm 35 pounds heavier 7 months ago. I want to go back to riding, but I mean, if I don't go back to riding, there's a lot of things that I could do. I've got thoughts in my head of being I'm a steward, which is the 3 guys that oversee all the horse racing. I'm actually in the process of writing a book. Hopefully that comes out good, and I have success from that. But there's a lot of things I could do. I could go back to school. There's a lot of things that I have in my mind that I got in the story pop. But my main goal is to get back to riding, and I think it's very possible. I'm not gonna stop until I, all the way accomplish that if I can.
So through this whole experience, who would you like to thank? Who helped you the most? And
well, first of all, I'd like to thank God because I'm still here for a reason. I mean, I could actually be dead. I'd like to thank my wife, who's a big supporter. She had to step up to the plate and really take up on a big old deal as far as taking care of Marlon St. Julien. But I'd like to thank Craig Hospital, which is an awesome rehabilitation hospital, and those people. I had to learn how to walk again. Use my limbs again. I had to learn how to speak again because I have a you can probably see the scar. I have a big hole in my throat from the trach, and I like to thank a lot of people. I had a lot of support from family members. I had a lot of support from co-workers. I had a lot of support from just my agent and his wife, and support from you too, Dukes. You too.
Yeah, and as a son, it was very scary because with him not being able to talk, not knowing if he's okay, alive. So very happy that you're still here with us.
Thank
And
you.
we thank you for you to be here and come out to the public, let them know how you're doing. But thank you for your time, and we'll be right
You're
back.
welcome.